Hi, my name is Darlie. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a life coach. All my practice is based on the belief that the trauma we endured as children molded us to the person we are today. So, going back in time and addressing that trauma is really essential for us to move forward and achieve the life we are meant to live. So here I have my student Vivian asking me some questions. So I want to do this Q&A session so that more people can get the benefit.
Yes, hi, I'm Vivian. I'm actually training to become a life coach with the help of Darlie's insights, and it truly is an amazing experience. So today I will be asking a few questions about a really interesting topic, the difference between a nice guy and a kind guy. So yeah, I have a few questions, Darlie, and I'd love to ask for your insights regarding these. So beginning with something that I've been really curious about is like what really is the difference between a nice guy and a kind guy, especially when it comes to relationships.
People can get it twisted. It does. All nice guys are not bad, right? Because there's some genuinely nice guys that are kind too. So the problem happens when you are not a nice person, in the sense you're not a nice person, you have bad intentions, but you pretend to be a nice person. So you pretend to be someone else. That's when the problem happens. Because when we talk about nice guy syndrome, there is even a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy and all that. So it's been around for a while, the term nice guy. So
Mhm.
the nice guy we are talking about here, we also did a video. I have actually done a video also. I will attach the link here. What we are talking about in that is somebody who has an inherent belief that my true authentic self is not good enough. Because if I show my true authentic self, people don't love me. So I have to show up in a different form. I have to show up as a different person so that I'll get the acceptance and love from other people. So that is what, and that's when it becomes a problem, because you are presenting as someone else with the intention of getting something in return, and
Mhm.
don't get what you're expecting from the other person, you loosen it. You get so upset. Sometimes, you show your anger, rage, and, in many cases, it has gone south. It has become so dangerous, resulting in dangerous consequences, attacking physically or even, killing, stuff like that. So a nice guy, so the difference between kind guy and nice guy is being kind needs courage, right? Kindness is coming from courage, because in many cases being kind is difficult, right? It's easy for you to go with the flow or protect yourself and move, but to be kind and do the right
Mhm.
thing, you need courage. So kindness needs courage, but niceness, pretending to be nice, is coming from fear. So that's the difference.
When you say niceness, do you mean what you're saying is like it's more of a performative
Yes.
thing as compared to kindness, where it's more authentic and like you're
Yes.
being true to yourself.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
exactly. Yeah, because you are performing, you are not being your true self. Yes,
Mhm.
that's not genuine. Yeah.
Another question in mind is that why do why do we cling to that idea of niceness or that nice identity, um especially if you have a significant other? Why do we cling to that nice identity even when it harms the relationship?
Right. Um, I kind of answered that question in the beginning, because this person has a belief that my true self, who I am,
Mm-hmm.
really is not good enough. So I
Oh,
have to
okay.
show up as a good person so that my significant other will show me affection and I can be in a relationship with them.
Is it like a trauma or like a societal conditioning that triggers a person to be more performative rather than being more authentic?
Yes, because when you are a child, you learn things, from your experience. Hey, when I am agreeing with my parents, if parents are like really controlling or not letting that child be themselves, right? They're trying to tell them what to do, or hey, this is what you're supposed to do, because most times parents do things because they care, they want the best for their children, but it's actually controlling, in
Mm,
by they're saying you can sit like this, you can talk like that. Maybe you had to be pleasant when you meet people. Also, don't show your emotions. You can show it because people will think bad about you when you're crying all the time, you're showing your anger. So they kind of condition them, so the child is understanding that, hey, when I do this, I get acceptance, people love me. Also,
mm,
there is this good boy, bad boy, he's a good boy, or mom will give them candy, if you are not crying, or being good to other people, sacrificing, all those things. So like you said, it's actually a trauma, childhood trauma,
mm,
people don't understand. So the child is getting the understanding that if I show up as a different person, it's beneficial for me. But if I show my true authentic self, it has negative consequences. So that's where this is coming from. It's actually starting from a very beginning, from your baby infant. It starts because when you cry a lot or something, and then you are scolded for that, and then the child will suppress its true expressions and try to please the parents. So that's where it all starts. So this is coming from the people pleasing, emotional suppression and all that.
yes. So it's more of like a fear of rejection, right? Like
Exactly, yes.
you're oh okay. Like
So
more of
this is a protective coping mechanism to get that acceptance. That's how it can leads to rejection sensitive dysphoria, also imposter syndrome. All those things are attached to this people pleasing behavior, fawning. All this comes from this nice guy. And also the biggest issue is they are actually struggling inside. They're very
mm,
unhappy inside. And also they have a lot of confusion because they can never show their true self, so they're like really double life. And it can actually lead to it's actually narcissism too, right? They're really trying to control the situation
mm,
by this presentation, this performance, and they're really detached within themselves with their true self, and they're not being genuine, right? They can sometimes it come out, right? They're trying to be nice, and sometimes, and that's why people will come back and say, oh my god, this person was so nice up until 18 years of age, and suddenly they blew up, and something
yeah.
happened. If you look at all the histories of what's that, serial killers or people who kill their family, they're all nice people up until that point because they couldn't handle it anymore.
Mm,
So, and also this emotional dysregulation, they never practiced, expressing their true feelings. So they did not learn how to regulate and express their true feelings. So they're really suppressing or kind of showing something else, emotional incongruence. They're feeling something and showing something. So its emotional plane is like really chaotic for them, the
mm-hmm.
emotional space. So, and they lost it, and that's why they killed. Most people kill. That's why nice guys kill. Nice guys
That's the
most,
dark side, the dark
right.
side of
Yeah,
nice
because
guys.
I did a piece for another channel on Chris Watts. I can attach that here too. He killed the whole family, but he was the nicest guy up until that point. In general, he's not aggressive. He's not
Mm,
raising his voice. He's always the polite one. He's like really not standing up for himself, right? So that's why people like him, because people don't like loud, aggressive people, but
mm,
they are gentle, polite people like that. So that's how. But if you really pay attention, you really understand that if somebody is not standing up for themselves, that is not good. There is
mm.
something wrong, because as an adult, you have the ability and means to remove yourself from situation that's not good for you. If you're not doing that and you're still there accepting humiliation, accepting disrespect, that is not actually not a nice guy. But society still promote that because they don't like people loud and aggressive or
Yeah.
standing up for themselves. So the cure is, the remedy is, be authentic, but focus on regulating. You can address your issues, not suppress your issues, but in a regulated manner. Because we can be honest, direct, but honesty without compassion is cruelty. So at
Mm,
the bottom of it, you have to have compassion. First, you have to be compassionate towards you, and that's when you'll be able to be compassionate to others. Because your goal in this life that you live is not to please people, but be your true, authentic self and be kind to you and to others. A nice guy is not doing any of that. He's not being his true self. He's not being kind to himself. He's not kind to others too. That's when the problem happens. Yeah, great questions, Vivian. I really like your insight, and this is something I really like about you. You always ask the right question,
thank you,
and
Sally.
that's beautiful. Um, so I want to talk about Benny Blanco. Maybe we can talk about that in our next video. Benny Blanco and Selena, because most people, I actually did a lot of videos on them. Belina, I call them Belina. And they're asking, is he a nice person? Is he performative? All things like that. So let's talk about that. Is Benny Blanco a nice guy? So
Mhm.
maybe we can do it next time.
Yes, I'm excited to do that as well with you. Thank you,
Okay.
Darlie.
Okay. Thank you, Vivian. Bye bye now.